This is Sybert signing into Red Alert 3 on the map BattleBase Beta. It's not Infinity Isle, but it's also nothing new to look at for this 1v1 as the Red Soviets loving the color combination. This is Win9. If you're not super familiar with that name, there are some other Smurfs that he's known by, but I cannot think of them for the life of me. This is a replay from the Chinese server, so these are a couple of Chinese players playing their own version of Red Alert 3. And as the Blue Empire in the south, this is SSS, who in this game is known as Sphere, so I guess that's the Smurf, and then the real name is SSS, but as it turns out, Sphere is much easier to say than SSS, so instead of saying SSS 100 times, I'll just say Sphere. But know that that is indeed apparently the wrong name, but, you know, don't make your Smurf easier to pronounce than your real name. Really aggressive bears and flak troopers coming out here from Win9. What is this guy doing? Also, I don't even remember the last time I've seen the Soviet player contest an Empire oil derrick on BattleBase Beta. Like, that was a little bit dicey for a couple of moments there. Obviously, being able to garrison the building real quick, but he lost the garrison of the other building in just about record time. That's like, I don't want to say unprecedented. That sounds a bit overdramatic, but that seems really significant. Now, on the other side, we do have a little bit of cleanup happening by Sphere, going to be able to get the kill of 2 flak troopers, and he's maybe rustled a little bit here, but not thrown from his perch by any means. He's got the dojo. He didn't get the ore refinery block, so no expansion block by Sphere, but Win9 does have that bit of scouting. He got the great scout off with the bear, and he's sort of started things off on a weird foot for Sphere. So whatever Sphere's plan was, it got thrown a touch out of whack just by that opening, just by that early bit of aggression. Flak troopers and no wall on the right side of this refinery. So it is going to be flak troopers here for the defense. The armor coming up on that ore collector going to force those Tengus away, and the Tengus on the high ground have a bit of an advantage over the building there on the low ground. Once again, just garrisoning up pretty much every single structure that he possibly can. Win9 making this a very awkward opening to shut down by Sphere. Sells off both of the barracks back home, adds on a sentry gun and a reactor, so this is a delay of the super reactor, a really big delay in the war factory. It's not entirely survival mode, but this is definitely a lot of problems because of that delayed war factory. No terror drone, no sickle, and of course no no hammer tanks for a long time. The wall's just barely gonna finish to save that ore refinery. I cannot believe he got that save there, as even a Defender VX core is here to add more insult to injury, more power to this punch. One tank buster goes down, but there's the bear getting eliminated. That harvester's so close to losing its refinery. The Tengus get the jump on the bear, but it's not fast enough. Their DPS is not enough, just as the Defender VX core comes online, and somehow this ore refinery is still around, it's still alive, but the barracks is gone, and this must have a limited lifespan from this point forward. Third refinery gets eliminated, 500 bucks cash back, and now the sickle is arriving. Moments too late, moments too slow from being able to secure that very quick third expansion. But what does this cost our Empire player? Not his MCV. He was able to keep that, pumped out a ton of tank busters, and fortunately for him, Sphere was able to keep these guys alive against the bears. Sphere, taking control of this game, drops the dojo in his opponent's gateway, and is going to be trying to take his third base at the same time. Tank Buster's starting to put some punishment on this MCV, going to be forcing it to pack up, head home, down to the low ground, and going to try and deal with these. Oh, there's an engineer inside of that building. What was that about? I have no idea why that engineer was there. It must have been a misclick, or otherwise he was really excited about trying to grab that observation post on the high ground. Terror drone gets sniped, hammer tank gets 2 Tengu kills, and the Imperial Warriors on the cleanup duty of that terror drone have bought themselves, well, a death sentence, but have earned themselves a place in keeping the rest of these forces alive. That Terror Drone Hammer Tank combo can be vicious to try and deal with. Win9 trying to pull something out here, but it feels like Sphere is on the edge of running away with this game or falling flat on his face. His third refinery still super delayed in comparison to what he would have liked to have, and he's just keeping the pressure up. Engineer sneaks out. The Bears and the Sickles are going to make this difficult. That might be 500 bucks down the drain. Cashback being an option for the Empire, for the Soviet player, does provide some value to these engagements. Engineer gets sniped, toxins come in, and the tank busters, barely outside of the range of that toxin, are going to survive for a little bit longer. That was actually a second engineer from Sphere. He already got the oil derrick, forcing the extra barracks. Although there's already a barracks here, I'm not sure why the rebuild over here when you've got one, unless he wants to really keep that barracks around for the long haul. Refinery almost up and running. Oil derrick got sniped at some point in the past. What a wild and weird game this is turning into on BattleBase Beta. Sphere showing us some unusual moves, and Win9 with some early aggression, but it did not pay off the way he was hoping. He was hoping to get up that third base nice and easy. Ooh, these Tengu's going to stop that engineer from being able to safely grab that oil derrick. Keeping this dojo around is great. I absolutely love it. Defender VX core on the high ground makes it difficult to expand back up there. And Bullfrog's now getting sniped, just left out in the cold here, trying to body block with a reactor. Win9 trying to pull out all the stops, but there just isn't much left for him. Now there's strikers showing up in the sky. His Bullfrog just got sniped. Sphere with pretty much perfect execution from an extremely awkward opening and what feels like just freestyle transitioning to try and make something happen in this game. This doesn't feel like super clean, well thought out strategies from either side. It's like the strategies were looking good right from the start, and then suddenly everything got thrown into mayhem, and just nothing has been the same since. Am I tripping? Is there something weird about these tank guns? I feel like those hammer tanks look like they got XL guns or something. I'm not sure what's going on, if it's just me making stuff up or what. Building finally gets shut down. Some of these areas have been Soviet strongholds basically from minute one. Striker being left almost out in the cold. Good reaction there from Sphere against Win9's attack, but I'm not sure what the goal is there. Just fly out of range, bud. You don't actually need to transform onto the ground. Must have been a bit of a select all army and slap that F key kind of move. But he's going to push forward with the Tengus. He doesn't have a lot of strength against this composition unless he can jump on the Bullfrogs. Okay, we do actually have a couple of Tsunami tanks here on the front line. One is here. There's the big transform. Tengu's going to head out north with those strikers. Going to potentially cause some problems along the north side of the map. Whether or not they think there's an expansion out on the water remains to be seen. Oil derrick could be a safe target, something soft to get a win against, and actually these conscripts in that building could be really being annoying, just draining a bit of health from that Tsunami tank on the low ground. Tsunami tank on the high ground gets sniped. The Terror Drone combo is powerful. The Tengu's going to be swinging back around. Sphere starting to make some mistakes, leaving some units unguarded and unwatched. Well, flak cannon a day late and $1 short as that sentry gun gets sniped, and the flak cannon is going to be basically no use at all. Hammer tank shows up, starts putting out the pain on those Tengus, but this is a lot of Tengus, and they should be able to escape on out of there through the water. They get one harvester, they transform, giving the Bullfrogs an opportunity to do some damage. One goes down, and the rest survive, living to fight another day, but this took the pressure off of Sphere. Sphere was able to distract. He's got now 4, maybe 5 Tsunami tanks running around the map. He's got his... What are these guys' obsession with engineers? He's got his power plants coming back up. Apparently, he may have been a little bit low power mode. His production may have been slowed down. Could be the result of why he had so few Tsunami tanks, why it took him so long to get his army up and running. Could have been low power mode for quite some time. So, big... Not a huge loss there by Sphere. He lost out a little bit just in pure cost, but he got the... Actually, with the sentry gun and the flak cannon, he may have come out even or ahead, because he only lost 2, maybe 3 Tengus, which ordinarily, yeah, that's not worth a single harvester necessarily, but Lost mining time, plus the harvester, plus this other stuff. That probably was worth it. Took the pressure off of Sphere, which was another huge benefit for him, as he is now up to that 3... Ooh, toxins on top of this harvester. Good call there by Win9. But wow, what a delay to getting just to our 3rd refineries up and running. I don't know how far we're into this game at this point, maybe close to the 10-minute mark, and it's like we're at the 5-minute mark, really. But we are just crushing it ahead. Terror Drone gets the infect on that Tsunami Tank. Tsunami Tank's pushing forward. A couple of them on the front lines. He got activating those nano deflectors, and just now that Terror Drone working through that armor. A lot of damage coming out from these hammer tanks, but as long as the Tsunami Tanks can jump on top of them, they will clean them up quickly. Tengu's now leading the charge as the Terror Drone gets 1 kill and gets the infect on a Tengu as well. So Terror Drone trying to cause some real problems. Body blocking also coming in that reactor, trying to block away that War Factory. Buy some extra time for the hammer tanks to come online. Hammer tank with the double gun is actually the one switching over to the leech beam, trying to survive just a little bit longer. So close to going down. This War Factory under threat. The Tsunami Tank swinging around to the south side, or to the back side rather, and the Hammer Tank swinging around to the south side, trying to alternate between main attack and switching to the Leech Beam. Another Hammer Tank sneaks on out, but that'll be the last one as the War Factory goes down, and this is the time where Win9 wishes he had an airfield out to sneak out a couple of Twin Blades, get some counterattacking done on the other side of the map, and this is a costly attack in terms of Tsunami Tanks. That was not a big win for Sphere. He was not able to crush the army, kill the War Factory. Somehow 3 Hammer Tanks surviving that engagement. Two of them with double guns on them, one of them fully heroic, going to be getting those out in the field repairs, and there's enough bullfrogs to contend any air army. I don't think Sphere has the numbers to kill those bullfrogs quickly. What an awkward engagement, but now the tank busters are here. Both of these buildings have been busted open, so no chance to jump inside. Rear armor going to take a bit of damage. Win9 going to have to retreat. He realizes he does not have the army composition to contend with this force. Crusher Crane coming up possibly to get some value out of the MCV, possibly just for the repairs on the front line. Either one is a good option. War Factory needs to be rebuilt, but it's already up and running. He never lost the super reactor, so he's okay there. And it looks like it's going to be a barracks on the front line, engineer into the con yard, and it's up to the Bears to get out here and help out the hammer tanks. A weird thing to say, but the Bears might be critical to holding this defense. And Bear coming in, going to be parachuting in, blasts his roar out a little bit early, but I think he's going to be able to make it onto the front line and clean up these forces, push away this army. Yeah, go ahead and kill those walls all you want, Sphere, as long as those tank busters aren't killing the refinery, aren't killing hammer tanks. Kill the walls all day long. No one cares. Bear coming in, going to be forcing those tank busters back underground, and the Imperial Warriors trying to engineer their way into killing those bears if at all possible. So much damage unloading onto those tank busters. They will eventually go down, but this again buys a lot of time for Sphere. He is now the one, as soon as those bears in that defensive position becomes apparent to Sphere, he knows that he needs something fast, because those bears are going to stop his tank busters and kill his advantage if he's not careful. Both of these guys improving like masters, it feels like. Not a clean game of Red Alert 3, not a high-level strategy game of Red Alert 3, but this is like just starting from a weird position and just trying to make things work in a kind of chaotic match. But honestly, it's really straightforward in a bunch of ways. Tsunami Tank's going to be coming on forward. Classic tank battle coming in here. Terror Drone trying to get the stasis there to remove that maneuverability, and the bullfrogs just causing so many lack of options, forcing this Empire army to be entirely ground-based when he would love to be mixing in some Chopper VXs into this composition, to be opening up his options with some kind of air force to support his tanks on the ground. And the answer is no every single time. The bullfrogs have been too closely guarded, they've been too good of numbers, and Sphere's options are limited. Getting that 4th refinery out is great, but if he hasn't got the tech up for a Shogun battleship to sneak its way onto the battlefield, I'm not sure what he's going to do to stop these tanks. A little bit of cashback coming in. Maybe some satellites getting called in as well to help break down those walls and damage that refinery. He wants to get the guns on the refinery as quickly as possible. My gosh, they burned down that refinery so fast. And these hammer tanks now going to be able to hold their own against superior number of tsunami tanks. There's going to be the Emperor's Rage firing off. The bullfrogs could be under threat, but these tsunami tanks trading blow with double tank hammer tank, or double heroic hammer tanks with 2 guns apiece, just blasting through those tsunami tanks. There is no match for these hammers in this game. It's all about this triple unit composition. Tengu's Tank Busters Tsunami Tanks versus Bears Hammer Tanks and Bullfrogs. This is what you have got to play with, and these are all of the pieces on the board. Twin Blades gonna totally change things up here. Good night to Sphere. He has not been able to get any real use out of those strikers, and now that he actually needs them, they're nowhere to be seen. Another hammer tank bites the dust, and the Bullfrog's gonna get jumped on, but it's only 3 Tengus. They're hoping the honorable discharge will do the work for them. 3 Bullfrogs survive the night, and it's gonna be up to this hammer tank to get the kill on that tsunami. Barely gets the kill there as these Twin Blades hunting down the escaping tsunami tanks and pulling this Empire player apart. Sphere almost coming out ahead 3, maybe 4 times in this game. Every time he is unable to close in on Win9 and actually do damage. Back up to 3 refineries apiece for these 2 guys. Everything has been happening on Win9's side of the map. He has been the one playing defensive, only just now finally striking out back onto the other side of the map. But the losses have been heavily against Sphere, losing so many tsunami tanks to those hammer tanks. That combination of hammer tanks getting the wider spread, those tsunami tanks getting caught up by the stasis of the terror drone, just causing some real problems for his composition. 2 strikers now mixed in here, but this is a rebuilding moment, and is Sphere going to have the time to rebuild the way he wants? He's starting to put the pieces together, but I don't think he's had the time to really get things... Ooh, almost making a big positional mistake there. But I don't think Sphere has had the time to rebuild the way he wants. Twin Blades coming in on the north side of that refinery. And look at this hammer tank going on the prowl. He's even getting a little bit too far ahead of his friends. He needs the Bears, he needs the Twin Blades, and it's just a full-on Twin Blade transition. There was a weakness identified, and the mobility of the Twin Blades I expect Win9 to abuse fully. Coming in here, just sniping the entire high ground expansion, knocking down that refinery. He just dropped 2,500 credits on that refinery and got basically nothing for it. There's the big clump. Strikers are here, but they're now undefended. The Tengu's literally leaving them in the lurches. 1 tsunami tank comes out. Yeah, go toe-to-toe with this double-barrel hammer tank. Fully heroic. He goes for the crush. Are you kidding me? Win9 loses his hammer tank. Are you kidding me? He just lets that guy go. He lets the MCV get the crush, and the Tengu's getting the kill on the Twin Blade reinforcements. Even a terror drone down on the ground watching over it. I cannot believe he walked that hammer tank right into that MCV. 2 tsunami tanks against this 1 hammer tank with the Tesla troopers as the backup. It might actually be an intentional use of those strikers to try and buy a couple of more seconds. A 3rd tsunami tank comes out. Where are you going? Sphere splitting up his army in a way that's not really helpful. Bullfrogs finally getting stomped on as those tsunami tanks close the distance, and the strikers are just going to sacrifice themselves to get the kill on that double-barrel hammer tank once again. And finally, Sphere finding a victory on the ground, but it might be short-lived as these Twin Blades don't tear apart that tsunami tank. It barely survives. I thought it was going down. The MCV stands tall, and the defense is good. The Yurii mini-sub blocks the refinery. Going to be forcing a Tesla coil. That'll take forever to build, but at least that Yurii will go down. Sphere finding the angles, finding the opportunity. Finally, after 10-15 minutes of just getting bullied by Win9, He finds the opportunity. Dojo coming out. Engineer almost a guarantee to go into that MCV, get the full heal up, and obviously a Tesla coil and a refinery is a juicy target for any strikers out on the map. You don't have MiGs, you just got bullfrogs. Strikers are going to be on that refinery. That is a big, giant cash dump, 3,500 credits waiting to be knocked down by those strikers. Tank busters onto the front line. It is a meager force from Sphere. He's got just enough. Oh, if he loses these tank busters, it just becomes weaker. Oh, Bullfrog's way out of position now after so long of Win9 being ready to go with those Bullfrogs. He makes a mistake, loses it there, and now a gun is going to transfer into the control of Win9. Good ID of the situation, and realizing his opportunity, getting lucky with that Bullfrog kill, spawning a terror drone, getting a kill with the terror drone, a lucky catch there by Win9. That was not much like a skilled move by his part to really game the system or anything. That was just a pure luck free kill there by Win9. Sphere sends out the Tengus, could split them up, maybe 3 different locations. He's going to have to jump on the sentry gun altogether, hope that the sentry gun goes for the Tengus with the point defense drones. Strikers come out to the south side. Going to try and poke away at those twin blades, and actually a hammer tank here. Going to make that defense nice and easy. But of course, the Tesla coil over there is also a dangerous area for those units to be. Twin blades get the kill on the harvester and skate away. They don't want to stick around for too long. Well, that's going to be a dead striker going for the kill. Oh, no, too close with the hammer tank. Doesn't use the leech from far away, just lets the hammer tank the honorable discharge. Loses a hammer there, unfortunately, and a MiG gets jumped on. 6 Tengus looking to finally earn their keep in this game and actually make a difference. The striker going to get the kill on the terror drone there. And the army delay, sends the Bullfrogs forward. Not a smart move, but the Tengus get jumped on, and there's the transform. The Tengus going to be able to land on these Bullfrogs. 1 Bullfrog down, 2 and 3 about to explode. Just narrowly gets the kill on the edge of that Tengu range, and it swings back into the favor of Sphere. But, yeah, last time I checked, his army was pretty meager. He might barely have enough. I think a confident kill on the high ground would be a good way to get a little bit of an advantage. But honestly, with how Win9 has been playing this out, I wouldn't be surprised if he finds a way to come back from this moment. 1 more hammer tank going down. Every hammer tank counts, trying to pull this army out of position, and Win9 might have given away too many pieces at this time. Sphere may have gotten too many kills, and now he's going to try to abuse the position. He can't quite do it. Too many Tesla coils, too many spawn. Oh, what is this? What is this? Like the 3rd time Sphere has just let a unit go almost completely. Toxins coming in here, going to clear the ramp, and into the building those tank busters will go. There's the transform. No, it's low power mode. Jump on the reactor. Cement that low power mode for a moment longer, and he realized perhaps a little too late that there was an opportunity there, and the opportunity is gone. MiGs now coming out. An additional super reactor, really juicy spot there to jump on. No flak cannon out here, but Sphere has not been able to capitalize on that. Sphere playing from behind economically for the last couple of minutes here, being ahead almost the entire game on economy. I'm not sure when this oil derrick got cleaned up, but it did get eliminated at some point. Sphere being ahead on economy for most of the game up to a certain point, and then it just totally switched. He lost the refinery on the high ground. Win9 took 2 refineries in quick succession, and suddenly 5 refineries on the side of Win9 and only 3 refineries on the side of Sphere. A couple of those actually depleted. So really 1 refinery versus 3 of Win9. Yeah, 2 depleted to each player, and only 7 grand left in that one. But overall, Win9 is set up really well with his economy. Sphere is running out of gas. He had that naval yard down in the south, protects the harvester against the terror drones. An important move, but he only got 1 Yurii mini-sub out of it. He never really teched up He never got to artillery, so there wasn't like a sneaky Shogun to go around the side with maybe a couple of C-Wings to kill off a refinery or two. He's just been trying to do it with these basic pieces, Tengu, Tsunami tanks, Strikers, and oftentimes not all three of them at once. Not a free kill on this Tengu. Took a bit of chip away from those hammer tanks, but trying to pick off as many of these Tengus as he can. Strikers coming in, Bullfrog's not in range. There goes the everything actually on the Soviet side. The Terror Drone not getting a kill either, as the MiGs show up and clear the skies. Finally, MiGs coming in here and not just getting cleaned up immediately by a bunch of Tengu bullies. Sphere on the back foot for the economy for quite some time, and now he's down with not much of an army, and he's going to have to try and hold off, not against some big, powerful Soviet force, but against maybe just a little bit too much to handle. It's not a big, overwhelming army coming in here from Win9. It's just a couple of units, and it might be just slightly too much. Refinery gets eliminated. What little cash was coming from that refinery now gone down. Couple of tank busters get the kill on the Terror Drone, but they're going to have to go into their hidey holes and hope no bears show up. No bears at all. I don't even see any coming across the minimap as Win9 takes the game, but Win9 retreats, living to fight another day and getting ready for a final assault. Sphere calls the GG there. What a weird opening that then turned into a pretty epic back and forth. And I was wrong. They were neck and neck on economy. Sphere with more refineries for part of the game, but actually it looks like Win9 ended up closing the gap, and then, yep, right near the end there, Win9 just coming ahead with the economy very strong. That will do it for that game. I hope you enjoyed that Chinese SVE action. Thank you all very much for watching, and this is Sybert signing out.